Welcome to Impact Masters Podcast in collaboration with Africa's Talking Retold Podcast, where every conversation sparks new insights. Join us as we delve into the stories of extraordinary individuals who are shaping our world. Movers and shakers in tech, policymakers, entrepreneurs, entertainers, and all those whose stories are worth telling. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and transformed. Welcome, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. Impact Masters Podcast. You can check us out on all social media platforms. You can also find us across all podcast channels. Simply search for Impact Masters, then subscribe, follow, and share. www.impactmasters.io. Here's your host, Michael Kamathi.
What are these? These sound like the first degree, second, until to that is something degree.
Okay. It's just we have primary school, we have high school, we have college.
Again, the same thing that I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. So so Rotary.
Yeah.
Main members. Rotary. These are mature adults who are professionals.
Yeah.
Remember, it was started by professionals. And so under professionals, now we have those who are still in college. So those are in the college period. They're the ones who form the Rotaract, the university. And then from then we have the high schoolers. So the high schoolers are the Interact, who are members. So currently we are trying to form as many in high school as possible. In university, we already have them in existence. Nairobi University has its own, JKU has its own, KU has its own.
Yeah.
They're there. Now, with that pretty much defined, we go now to the courses. The causes of Rotary. As I mentioned initially when they started off, it was to help eradicate polio.
Yes.
Help eradicate.
Yes.
So, and remember, these are people with different professionals. We have doctors, we have policymakers,
scientists,
everybody, every single profession, teachers, everybody, whatever profession you are, you're there. You're a nurse, whatever it is.
Okay.
And so the point was, this is the agenda, this is the course, so we come with it.
Yeah.
Now, that has been our drive since 1970s,
Okay.
to kind of...
And they started, you said, 1905.
But this was when polio became...
65 years later.
Yeah, because that's when now polio became more like it's widespread. So it was an issue of identifying where is the need in the society. Remember, Rotary tries to help alleviate the pains of humanity.
Yes.
To make an equal existence for all men and women.
Okay.
So the point is, which is still interesting because it was later on that women were allowed into it to join it. It was only men.
Chief, this sounds more than what I was suspecting. Go ahead.
In fact, right now we have the first Rotary International president as a woman in the history of Rotary, which started in 1905. And even the district governor, she's a lady. From Ethiopia, she's also a lady. I mean, the thing is, it's been, you see, everything was guided by the governance in every society at that particular time. Because at that time, women were not taking key roles. I mean, that's how the society was kind of built up.
The reason? Because I hear in Illuminati the same thing. I don't know, in the missionary the same thing. Also, even these women agendas become like the main agenda.
Yes.
In every other sector.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
True.
It's like there's an emergency somewhere.
Yes.
Why is that?
It's because it needs, you see, as I said initially, all men are created equal. There's this period of time where women were considered to be second-class citizens, as much as Africans were considered to be the same. That's why we had slavery issues. So this is something that, it's as I said, life is dynamic. And it was all about control and power. Still is. And it's a sad story at the same time because man was created to control themselves. There's nobody who was created to control another person.
Oh, really?
If you look at it.
Basing on what?
Basing on you as a human being, you can control yourself.
But to be honest, to
be fair,
all animals, there's hierarchy.
There's hierarchy.
And if we learn from nature, as you were alluding earlier.
Yes.
In every animal kingdom, there's hierarchy.
There has to be.
So that means...
For order. For the purpose of order.
Well, let's not put some control key there.
Okay.
But if we are learning from nature, and nature is something that we cannot change. Actually, it has to be balanced.
True.
As you alluded, earlier on.
Yes. Okay.
Then why is it that now we want to put some imbalance? Because that's imbalance.
Okay.
If there is no balance, of
Gotcha.
course we get the imbalance side of things.
Gotcha.
Why is that important?
As it was, definitely women were not considered to be, like having the same equity as men. Also, same issue came with slavery. Africans, not considered to be equal to all others. I mean, these are fights that have taken place, civil rights and all that. Civil rights is always there in one aspect, one respect to the other.
But wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Let's go slow here, because there's something I want our viewers, our listeners to understand.
Okay.
Slavery did not start with Africans.
No, it was there even in biblical times.
Exactly.
Yes.
So saying that it's because Africans are considered less equal, it's not right to some extent. Because even when you think about Roman Empire, there were slaves. If you think about all these other empires that were there, they were slaves.
Yes.
So,
true.
And I think I understand when people try to move away from the master and slave.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it empowers everyone to achieve their maximum potential, which is the key.
Got you.
But saying that hierarchy is not supposed to be there and it should be eradicated, to some extent it's confusing. Because again, taking you back to the nature way of things, there's always hierarchy. Even the trees, right?
Yes.
There are taller trees, there are shorter trees, there are shrubs.
Yes.
There is all these.
Yes.
And I think even nature works like that.
True.
You can put order as one of the reasons, but there are so many other reasons that you can come up with.
True. It's purpose. Purpose. There's a reason a certain tree is short. There's a reason a certain tree is tall.
Yes.
It's purpose.
Yes.
There are reasons as to why certain flowers are green, some are yellow. It's because there's certain kind of insects, they have certain kind of vision, colorblind.
Yes.
So they're attracted to this particular. So which means creation was created perfectly, with perfection, to be able to take care of itself.
Yes.
Interesting aspect, even our own bodies are created to take care of themselves. As in, your body was created to be able to heal itself. So what's supposed to be the case, especially with medication, as I wouldn't say so much is the case at the moment, but how it's supposed to be derived is whatever is put in your system is to enable a certain process of healing the body should take place.
Yes.
So your body was created to heal itself. That's why if I cut myself here, it's not a certain depth, the skin will still come back together.
Yes.
But if it goes to a certain depth, then there's certain kind of germs which have gone inside. So I'll need to get some kind of injection to ensure whatever went inside is kicked out. So it is to enable the body to heal itself.
Yes.
Same thing with nature, same thing with life. It is balanced. So some trees are taller for a certain purpose. Some are shorter for a certain purpose. Women have a purpose. Men have a purpose. I cannot give birth to a child. That's number one. Their body system is different.
Yes.
Does that make them less? No. In fact, if anything, in the story of creation, they say woman was created to help man. You see what I mean?
Yes.
To help man. Implication of this is the only person who can help you, they're either equal in strength or stronger than you. Right? I mean, if I'm to push a car and I tell a 2-year-old child to help me push the car, I'm cheating myself. You see what I mean? So I'll get somebody who has equal strength or stronger than me for this car to move.
Yeah.
You see the story of a helper? That's what a helper is.
Interesting.
You see what I mean? So a helper is somebody of equal strength or stronger than you for any effect to take place. So women are not lesser. You see? And so the emphasis on girl child, it's because of the culture. You see, it's a culture which was based on control factor. Why do we have female genital mutilation, FGM, if it wasn't a control factor? You see what I mean? So certain cultures...
But then why did you have FGM?
Exactly. It's not even supposed to exist. It was a control factor. In fact, if anything, the repercussions of it are devastating. Many women have internal bleeding taking place because of that. We have, so many complications.
But that goes for any other procedure that is not carried out well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, you see, a woman wasn't created with that having been done. So there's no need for that to be done because there's no value addition to it.
Same with circumcision, or
circumcision is different now. The reason I
why
say
is it
so,
different?
It's different because it's been proven that HIV.
I'm not actually
the science of it.
I'm not actually
advocating
because I don't understand FGM, to be honest. And if I say I understand, I'll be lying, right? But even with the circumcision, now that you're bringing HIV, before HIV there was circumcision.
There was,
in the beginning of time there was circumcision.
Exactly.
And so I hear this is not confirmed or denied. child. Maybe our theologians can confirm this. The first circumcision was done by God.
Yeah, true.
Right?
True.
So this is something that actually, that even when you think about some of things, and this even beyond FGM,
Gotcha.
and the nature being balanced, is that we need to actually get into the details of the matter. Because for me, I am a believer that no one takes good care of an African, of a human than an African.
Okay.
Before even the colonization and all these civilization and whatnot, women were always a priority. Women and children, even right now, actually, women and children were in African before even we knew how to read and write.
Exactly. Yeah.
And by the way, that's another topic, because we used to write our own. We used to keep our own records, which was stolen, deducted, changed.
True.
So, do you think we are following someone's narrative with this?
With FGM.
No. Women, the whole, imbalancing of human empowerment.
What I can say is,
because there are people who are taking advantage of the whole process. I'm not saying women should not be regarded as equal. Actually, I've seen good, intellectuals, brilliant ladies, right?
Yes.
And by the way, these ones, they don't ride on that narrative of I'm a feminist, I'm this and that.
No.
They just put in work.
Exactly.
They go the extra mile. They say when they need assistance.
Yes.
And they always show up.
Gotcha.
But there are this other caliber of guys who make a lot of noise. They want to be on the forefront at anybody's expense.
Okay.
And that's where I think we need to correct that. And I'm not saying that, in every process there is always a correction.
Yes, perfection.
Just to put, the right perspective.
Exactly.
Even for a little girl child that is out there.
True.
Not to believe that it will be given to them.
For sure.
They need to work for it.
That's it.
And I think also now that you're part of this Rotary Club, it's good to try and make sure that things are in a better place so that they are sustainable and all that.
Yes. True. So on that perspective of women, culture, as I said, because they were intentionally not allowed
to lead
intentionally.
Yeah.
Not that they were not capable to. But they were intentionally not allowed to.
Yeah.
So the fight has been.
So the disqualification number one, you are a woman.
Yes.
Just by the fact that you can't change that.
And you can't change it. You're born that way. So there was that fight to now intentionally allow them into spaces. Because even the church, look at the church. The priests, not women, men. So it is an aspect that has been playing in society not to intentionally not to include them. Intentionally not to have them there. And so it's all coming down to it doesn't serve humanity better. You see what I mean?
Why so?
Because you know something I don't. I cannot claim I know everything. And if this person knows something I don't, why would I not include them into my space for me to be able to deliver that which needs to be delivered? If I know if this person can add value to me to be able to perform better in life, why not include them into my space for that to take place? Because at the end of the day, I want to live my life to the best of me. All right? You see, remember the Jishinde Ushinde.
Yes.
Defeat yourself for you to be better.
Yes.
You see what I mean? For you to win, you have to win yourself.
True.
Win.
Yeah.
Beat yourself, defeat yourself, discipline yourself for you to win.
Yes.
So it's not an external issue. It's an internal issue.
Yes.
So it being an internal issue, and if this person knows, and remember the story I told you about a 12-year-old, 17-year-old working with the defense system to build a stronger defense.
Yes.
It's all about inclusivity. These kids are good. They are champions. Nobody can beat them. Why will I not work with them?
Yeah.
You see,
from that point, I understand.
Yes.
But from the virtue of being a man or a woman, I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The intentional part of not including them is what was not making sense. Intentional. Because in this case, it could also be in the African intentional thinking. Why would I include this child into this space? And I'm in the defense system. You see, that narrative is still the same. Because still in the African thinking setup, there's certain circles you cannot sit down and start talking.
That's one thing that I want you to understand.
Yes.
That I understand. And maybe you can correct me. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm more wrong, right?
It's okay.
I totally understand when it comes to qualification, competency, capability.
Yes.
That every single human being, regardless of their gender, race,
Gotcha.
age, and all these other aspects that we measure
Okay.
to be considered that they are capable.
For sure.
But anything else
Yes.
is just an agenda. And what that agenda is going to achieve, I don't know. And that's why now I'm lost, because if it's a matter of, we want to include women without even regarding if they're capable or not, or even making them ready to be capable. That's a whole issue. But also there is this argument that says they are not capable because over time, decades and decades, we have not prepared them to be ready. So is the intention to prepare them to be ready, or the intention is just to have them? Because if the intention is just to have them, then of course you are creating another problem of imbalance, whereby we'll have maybe less competency. For sure. People who are just put there, and you have seen even with the MPs, governors, right now already. It's not even 2 months.
Exactly.
Already we have issues with the counties and whatnot. And even what they're discussing, you find it's really
irrelevant.
You see?
Yes.
But I'm not saying all women are like that. It's because maybe that woman is not really capable to do this.
I got you.
Or maybe their intention to do this is different from what actually could help other people.
I see.
So we have to get that out of the way.
Exactly. Qualification should be the aspect of it. There's no question about it.
Yes.
If this person is capable to do something, give them the job.
Yes.
For the betterment of the society and the system itself. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes America great, by the way. Because America will welcome you. And that's why you have people like Elvis Mwenda Kibiti helping with building technologies in that country.
Yeah.
Because that system has been built. Whoever is good, I don't care where you're from. You're from Pluto, Mars, whatever, Jupiter. But you're good in this, please, this is your home. Make it your home. In fact, you make you a citizen immediately. You know what I mean? The point is, they appreciate the excellence of work. That's why people like Akina Elon Musk were able to reach the extent they've been able to reach, whereby they're working with the Air Force on Space Force. This is a citizen. This is not a person who went through military. But is a civilian who's proved he has the capability they don't have. So they bring him to the table. We will work with you because we want to be the best in this world. And if you have what we don't have, we want you to be part of us. Because at the end of the day, it's about the best version of us in existence.
The skill,
exactly. We want to be better than that country. We don't want you to go to that country because if they see this, they will take you. And that will make them better than us. So we want to be the best we can be. We want not our 67%. We want to be 100. And if you make us reach that 100, we want you. So that should always be the bottom line.
Yes.
Preparation. And I think that's why this girl reach out has been, because if you look back in...
That is from the club.
No, we're talking... Going back to the club is different now. That one was a deviation.
Oh, I see.
That was a deviation on the history of where it's come from and where we are right now. And it was just based on how culture has been over the years. Now, talking about the courses for Rotary. The courses for the Rotary, we have education. So equity in education, ensuring that all men get quality education, all men and women, all humanity gets equal education in every part of the world. You do agree that that is definitely not in existence. Definitely, we can even testify that there are places here we don't have schools and classrooms in our own country. The other day, I was listening to an interview for the new MP for Wajir South, I think it was, and he was talking about him needing 300 teachers immediately just to kind of create a bend, a mark to be able for students to have somebody to teach them. They don't have teachers in Wajir. In Wajir, he said they don't even have an iota of tarmac.
In Wajir, there are no teachers.
Right, leave alone even teachers. No tarmac. There's not even tarmac right now in this.
How much did they get for this county thing for the last, I don't know how many years? 10 years.
There you go. There you go. We come back to that now. Devolution has not been perfected. It is a good cause, but it has not been perfected. Which means accountability has not been to the level it needs to be, whereby you don't take a shilling that belongs to the government. Leave it alone. Let it do its purpose, its work. If you look at the Western culture, a good example where I lived, the US, is that you cannot even touch a shilling will cause you to be prosecuted. You know what I mean? Not even that. If I cannot reach my own counselor, trust me, that counselor will be impeached. Just because my child cannot...
You have to be reachable.
You have to be reachable. I put you in office to serve me. I put you in office.
You are my employee.
I employed you. My tax money is what's paying your salary. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's the reality
and
of
it's
it.
practical. Not
Yes.
just from the,
It is the truth.
by the book or something.
It's the truth. As in, whatever you're using in terms of your car expenses every morning is money the public is paying for your existence. Literally, for those 5 years.
Yeah.
Your existence is from our pockets. So why should I be unable to reach you? Starting from
That's
there.
a very good question.
Why can't...
People change numbers. Like right now, call your counselor. You tell me if you get them. after they won or lost, whichever comes first.
Yes.
They are no longer reachable.
I agree to that.
Yeah.
But also that brings the point of the people we elect, we ourselves.
Yes.
We are the ones who put them in office.
Yeah.
Why are we putting them in office? Do we know what we want before we put them in office?
So true.
Because if we know what we want, it's easy for us to ensure the right person is in office. So initially it boils down to, do I know what I want? Do I know how to get what I want? And is that what I did? Because of this, what happens is we put people in office concerning pressure, influence, because I don't know what I want. Good example. For example, I go start one business in that corner, that part of the world, that particular corner. I start a hardware store. Give me 2 years, we'll have 20 hardware stores on that same line.
Yes.
Why?
People are not thinking out of the box.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I'm going with what this and that and that and that person did, and they made this and this money. Why don't I do the same and make the amount?
Copy and paste.
You see what I mean? And this brings the aspect also of lack of collaboration. Lack of it's competitiveness.
And a lot of competition. Yeah.
That's the point. Because what would happen if that person opened a hardware store and it did well? I come back, I do my market survey.
Yeah.
If he's selling that and he's making this margin, it serves me best to see what value addition he needs for his clientele to start a business that will add value to his business and not kill his margin and kill my margin.
Yeah.
That's where we are growing together as a society. So if he's selling all this kind of concrete, I sell something he doesn't sell.
Yeah.
That his clientele, once they come from this shop, they'll feel almost like a mandate to come to my shop to complete what they want, as a unit.
Yeah.
So it's an issue of that aspect of collaboration and not competitiveness. And as I said initially, Rotary Club, coming back to it, it was formed by professionals to identify the needs. And once they identify the needs, they work as a unit towards eradicating whatever, or rather mitigating, or rather supporting systems in place to ensure that is achieved.
Yes.
So they have different causes.
Yeah.
They have the mother-child care, which has been an issue for years and years.
Yes.
Taking care of mothers, prenatal, postnatal care, which was also an agenda of the previous government. Because we saw what the former first lady, her initiatives were towards supporting maternal issues, child issues. And then another is improving livelihoods.
Yes, yes.
We have to improve livelihoods by ensuring there's equity. What are the gaps in the society? Whatever those gaps are, then we as professionals, we come together as professionals to offer our skills to support that agenda. Support that agenda. I'm not coming as a person who, definitely that adds strength to it, but I'm not coming representing a company, but I'm coming with the objective of that company to support this agenda. We are all common on a pot towards meeting a need. So it becomes our driving factor is we're kind of filling in the gaps which are not being filled in. For example, like maybe the government is finding a challenge to fill this and the professional world is not able to reach this because they are not coordinating well with the policy makers. So where can we enable the entire process in order for this to be achieved, for the society to be better? Remember, at the end of the day, our goal is what? A better society for humanity. That's what our goal is. So whatever the needs are, we come as professionals, policy makers, whatever our capacity is, teachers. Because, as I said, education is one of our pillars. So the teachers in that sector, they know where the gaps are. They know what needs to be done. So how can we work with the teachers to enable this and this process in the CBC to be perfected? So that becomes, Rotary is all about, we have those 7 pillars. There's the wash systems, clean water sanitation. And, one of, right now I'm the International Service Project Director for what you call Lavington Eco Rotary Club. Lavington Eco Rotary Club is the first eco-based Rotary Club in Africa. We are the first one to start one. Because environment was never an agenda under the Rotary International. They only had 6 pillars. So number 7, we added environment. And the purpose of adding environment is because it's critical to our existence. It's even part of the UN SDGs.
Yes.
Taking care of it's what ensures sustainability of communities and society.
Yes.
Taking care of that. We need the ecosystem. We need the biodiversity. We need oxygen. For oxygen, we need trees. For trees, we need good soil. For good soil, we need all. It's a whole chain. So environment was critical. So we add, and so Lavington Eco Rotary Club in Kenya was the first in Africa. Where I served as a project director in the last year. Our year stands in July, is the beginning of the year until June. And then another year begins. So in the last year, I was the project director. And now I'm the international service director, of which I also sit under what we call ESRAG. ESRAG is now the national body on environmental matters under the Rotary. So it's called Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group. So it's whereby anybody who cares about the environment, anybody who has a skill, a passion towards the same, ensuring that the environment, the climate, whatever it takes, the biodiversity is being preserved, and also mechanics of ensuring that the population kind of participating in that, because participation of all humans is critical for this to be a success. So on the international body, that's where I sit as the Africa lead communication coordinator on that. And so mine is to ensure that we reach the grassroots with the story. Not just planting, but growing trees. Let's grow trees, because people plant, they disappear, it dies, nothing happens. Let's have a curriculum in school that nurtures that in kids, to be able to be planting seeds, to find joy in that, to find joy in agriculture. Because agriculture.
I'll ask a very important question.
Sure.
You mentioned trees.
Yes.
So, and I've seen these.
Yes.
In primary school, we planted a lot of trees.
Yes.
I studied, which is Mutethia Primary School.
Okay.
In my formative years of primary school.
Okay.
But I was not involved in harvesting.
Okay. Harvesting of the trees.
Yes.
Are you supposed to harvest the trees?
People harvest trees.
Okay.
The ones I planted, they were harvested.
Okay.
At least. So,
Yes.
do you think this also discourages people to be involved in such programs? Because this harvesting means a lot of things.
It does.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
You're involved in growing, nurturing, but when it comes to now reaping the benefits,
exactly.
You are not part of that process.
Yes. Let's put it this way. A human being produces about carbon footprint of 40-something kilograms. A tree.
Through what? Through breathing?
A lot. Your daily activities. You're going to use a car. This car will travel from here to here. There's carbon influence in that. Your eating habits will also contribute to that. Leaving the lights on also contributes to that. There's a ripple effect to it. So the tiny aspects, for example, the clothes that you have, at some point, they will not fit you, or they become tattered, and you decide that the dumpster is a good place for it. There's no circular economy around it in such a way to take it back, into the economy space. So it's somewhere in a dumpster lying. You know what I mean? So various aspects, we do add to that carbon footprint. So 40-something, let's put it 42. Now, a tree will take about 50 years. 50 years.
Which tree is this?
A tree, any tree. That's just the general statistics.
Okay.
It will
indigenous or the
indigenous. Indigenous.
Indigenous. Okay, it takes a long
time. It takes a while. Yeah.
So let me ask this then.
Yes.
Should we be planting indigenous trees or just normal softwood tree?
Let's go to indigenous as much as possible. And Rotary has been leading this in the District 9212. We have what we call the Million Tree Campaign, whereby we're advocating planting of indigenous trees. The reason behind it's because there's a certain value they do give to us. There's a certain biodiversity they do contribute to. The mangroves
it's good you mentioned District 9212.
9212, yes.
And Ethiopia is leading.
Ethiopia is there too.
Is the president a member of
the Rotary? I think he was given one of those honorary because he's been a champion in that. And definitely he's doing a good job. It's a good example. It shows. Reason as why I was giving you the numbers towards the carbon footprint, it's because the oxygen we are breathing right now, it's because of a tree that was planted 50 years ago. 50 years ago, the tree is the oxygen we are breathing now. So whatever tree we are planting now is not even for us.
Yeah.
It's for somebody 50, 60 years later.